Hey, Chatterboxes, hey. I'm Nele, and welcome to Easy Convos, your cozy spot where we kiki about the latest TV shows, both scripted and reality, and what's buzzing on social media. Get comfy, grab your snacks, your tea, hit that like button, click that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload. Today's kiki is Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 9, Episode 15, Family Affair. We pick up where we left off at, and that is Andy and her mama having words, honey. I was about to say going at it. I guess you could say that, because Andy is not too pleased that her mama is there. Miss Andrea Monique Barnes was making out in the conference room with Dr. Vaughn when her mama walked in and caught her red-handed getting her little make-out session on. Now, I'm under the impression Andy tries to avoid her mama as much as possible. That's what it's given to me. She seems like one of those serious Bible thumpers. If you know, then you know. You know, the kind that banish you to hell every single little thing. For every single little thing, you know, your skirt too short, you're going to hell. You kissed out of wedlock, you're going to hell. You shaved above your knee, you're going to hell. I'm from Mississippi, so it used to be like really, really bad when I was growing up. All you heard was you was a sinner going to hell. You need to get right with Jesus, and these are the final days. That's all we heard. These are the final days. Y'all better get right with Jesus. You a sinner. Your skirt too short. You ain't supposed to shave above your knees. You ain't supposed to wash your hair while you're pregnant. You too fast. You fast acid if you washed your hair while you was pregnant and put your hands above your head while you was pregnant. It was so much. But anyway, that's the aura that Andy mama give me, okay? So Miss Valarie Barnes came in all scary and rude and loud. Now she wondering why Andy and Dr. Vaughn ready to hurry off. Well, you done come in and scared the mess out of them. She basically told Dr. Vaughn he needed Jesus. Now she wants to meet him and know his name. Well, you should have been asking his name before you scared the bejesus out of him. Being rude. Miss Valerie's surprised Reginald is a doctor because Andy has a thing for politicians and hedge fund crooks. Even Dr. Vaughn got tickled. I was trying to tell if he was laughing for real, if he was humoring her. And I couldn't tell. But she definitely knows her daughter, or either the gossip that surrounds her. Anyway, Andy is ready for her mom to get right on back to Tallahassee, where she came from. But she has some business to attend to first. So she say, I don't know if her business is Andy, is what it seemed like. That's what she there for. Now, I've been talking about Andy not answering her phone for the last few episodes. Now her mama is calling her out for not answering the phone. Andy would have known her mama was coming had she been answering her phone. Dr. Vaughn excused himself real quick from the awkwardness so he could return to work, but confirms he will be seeing Andy later, and it won't be at Bible study. They're not going to Bible study, I can tell you that. Miss Valarie feels like she will definitely be seeing Dr. Vaughn again. She wants to know what's going on in Andy's life. Miss Valarie thought Andy was still dating Jordan and was about to make partner at the firm the last she knew of. Honey, she a little behind because Jordan been gone. Thank goodness, and don't talk him back up. There apparently has been gossip at the church because the deaconess done told Miss Valarie Andy had some drama going on. Now Miss Valarie over here trying to find out what's going on. You know, that's all they do at some churches is gossip, okay? And I did say some church, so don't y'all get offended and be like, they don't do that at my church. I'm not saying everybody church. I said some churches, okay? Some churches. Again, I'm in Mississippi where it's a whole lot of churches and ain't nobody been to school to be nobody real pastor. If it ain't Methodist, Baptist, Church of Christ around here, ain't no education been had to be calling yourself a pastor. Even I'm ordained child to marry people, okay? Andy filled her mama in and brought her up to date. Well, more like her mama filled her in on everything that's been going on that she know about. She she about distraught and ready to jump off a bridge if she couldn't talk to Andrea Monique Barnes every Friday. So she said. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of why Miss Valarie is really visiting Andy, because they only talk 3 to 4 times in a 3-month period. Honestly, Andy said. Now, to be honest, Miss Valarie only there because, one, she concerned about what the church folks saying about Andy. So she came by to get Andy together, basically. And while she there, she wants Andy to carry her to her sister Myra's house, which is another 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. While she says she is there to see Andy, she says she won't be sleeping under Andy's roof with her lifestyle. She probably don't even have crosses on on her wall. Andy said she got $1 million paintings on her wall, baby. Okay. Andy and Fatima both are busy, so the office car service will have to take Miss Valarie to her sister Myra's house. Then Miss Valarie goes in on telling Andy she needs to get rid of Fatima and get an assistant so she can delegate her work out to the assistant and whatnot. She doesn't feel like Andy should have made close friends with Fatima because she don't need a friend as her assistant. It don't mix well together. But Fatima is a paralegal, not just some assistant, okay? Nothing wrong with assistants, but paralegals are above assistants. I started school for paralegal, but honey, again, I'm in Mississippi and I had little kids at the time and I couldn't travel to Mississippi State or Ole Miss because I live in between the both, and I couldn't, and I had babies. All my kids was stair-step, and I couldn't leave my babies. But anyway, Miss Valarie doesn't seem to understand. Andy still will have to do some work. She'll need to have stuff she'll need to work on that the paralegal or assistant can't do. The assistant can't do much of anything, and paralegals do a lot of the core work in a law firm. I learned that, honey. To make it make sense, it's just like CNAs and medical assistants do all the work under RNs while the RNs be sitting at the desk telling them what to do, and they just come out when it's time to unlock the medicine case and administer the medicine. Then you see your RNs and stuff come out. That's what it be like at a lot of hospitals. But now at some hospitals, the RNs be having to put in work. It depends on the hospital. But anyway, Andy gets her text from Karen for a group meeting and sends Miss Valarie on down to wait for the car service. Andy gets to the sister circle meeting and she speaks to Sabrina and Danny's still not speaking to her. Like, Danny still ain't over it. Danny did not speak at all. Andy told them about Dr. Von's surprise visit to bring her some gourmet coffee. Then Danny is ready to talk. She talking about your office has a whole frappuccino machine. Like, why he bringing you coffee? How Dr. Von's supposed to know that? This is his first time coming to visit her. He don't know what that office has. He don't come hang out in her office and traipse around and go down to the snack room or wherever the machine is. How would he know that? Andy is excited to say she and Dr. Von have a business relationship right now, working on the Dr. Cruz case. Now, Danny is sighing at it and don't really believe it. Karen makes it to the meeting and she looks like herself again. She looks so good, and I'm happy to see that she is coming out of her depression slowly but surely and looking like herself again. Now, before Karen can tell them what she called the meeting for, baby Fatima interrupted and wants to talk to Andy ASAP. We'll get on to that in a little bit. And like I just said, it's good to see Karen coming on back around again slowly but surely. She and Aaron are all booed up discussing when and where Karen may want to go. Karen still has to tell Pam that she doesn't want the salon anymore. So, like, how is that going to work out? Is she just going to let Pam keep running the salon and get a new stylist to replace herself, or is she selling the salon and Pam gonna be out of a job? What's she gonna do with her Roots to Riches? Like, how's that gonna work? Is she in business with Pam or Roots to Riches too? But Karen does tell Miss Lisa about their plans to leave Atlanta. Now, I thought Miss Lisa was going to be on our side and try to persuade Karen to stay, but she all for her to move. She tired of that mauve apartment anyway. I guess when she told, Miss Lisa the reason why she wanted to move, I guess Miss Lisa just understood it. Plus, Miss Lisa said she was free spirit herself. So, she there for Karen for whatever she decides to do. Now, Karen has already found some group chapters for her support group in other cities. So she has planned that for ahead with her move. And it sounds like to me a particular city. I was trying to make sense of it. I know they said Houston basically was out. Y'all, Paige mad at Maurice because Dylan likes him and done kissed all up on him. And she ain't talking to Maurice. Maybe she wants there to be maybe a code among friends. Like, don't date your friend's sibling or something. Dylan wouldn't be trying to hear that anyway because he is very aggressive. And right now, he all up on Maurice, okay? Even Maurice don't know how to handle him. Maybe she feel like Dylan is taking her friend from him or something. But Dylan just trying to make Maurice her sister-in-law is all he trying to do. I felt like the vision board was nice and it was really cute. Got me ready to do my 2026 vision board already. I do mine in a planner. You can do it in a notebook. You can do your vision board, anything. But anyway, to get the pictures for your vision board, you can order a vision board kit from Etsy or order a vision board kit in general. Or you can just go over to Pinterest and get the pictures you need and print them out on a printer. Go to the library, print them out, however you need to make your vision board. I just gave y'all that little bit of tea on how to make your vision board, okay? Anyway, the vision board was nice, and the vision board taught Sabrina stuff she didn't even know about Maurice, like that he was that into beauty and stuff. But Sabrina is right. Paige doesn't control Dylan. Maurice needs to give Dylan a chance and go for his, honey, because it seems like Maurice is in love. Sabrina, on the other hand, needs to keep things strictly sexual between she and Rock. Maurice doesn't think she should miss out on good sex because Rock is Danny's cousin. Sabrina has to learn to detach her feelings and learn how to get hers, you know what you mean? But I feel like this is gonna cause another bump in this sister circle thing. We got Danny and Andy into it, and then we gonna have Danny mad at Sabrina now. But anyway, having any kind of relationship with a family member of a friend can be difficult and cause some drama. And Sabrina gets her text from Karen for the sister circle meeting. So now it's time for her to head on over and meet the girls. But before she leave for that meeting, she leave the office, honey, Rock is sending Sabrina sexual pictures. Maurice is gonna show Sabrina how to cover her face up and start back sending sexy nudes to Rock so she can be in the known with how to be sensual and sexual and get in on getting hers. But the reason you need to cover your face before you send nudes, so it'll keep you safe online. No one will be able to match your private parts to your pictures to protect you online and to protect you sexually. People can't be using your pictures against you and have you out there flirting around the internet. So if you are floating around the internet, your face won't be on there, okay? Officer Green couldn't ask Danny for her number while they were searching for Karen because that would have seemed a little inappropriate and it would have been very unprofessional and it really wasn't the right time. But now he's asking. Danny told Officer Green she has a man, but Officer Green don't care that she has a man. What he does care about though is that ring finger is empty. But he a very patient man though, and he likes Danny's feistiness. I was agreeing wishes he could learn more about Danny over dinner, but she's staying loyal to Tony. Danny does let him put his number in her phone just in case she needs an officer and a friend. He was definitely watching Danny when she walked away. He was looking. Danny gets back home early since they reduced her hours at work. And Tony is in there. I'm telling y'all, he is betting money on them games because he be on his phone doing something and then he be watching the TV and he be getting mad and upset. And I'm betting you he betting his money on his games. So I hope he don't blow all his money betting because he gonna really mess himself up doing that. But Danny comes in and immediately she be trying to clean up behind Tony and put the blankets up, get rid of the food containers, clean stuff up while he's sitting his funky behind up in there stinking up and dirtying up her little apartment. Now, Tony talking about his still and tell kids gonna be coming for his birthday weekend and they gonna stay there with them because they got plenty of room. Plenty of room where they don't even have a bedroom. They got a little section over there where the bed is. They don't even have a bedroom to have privacy. How you figure that they got plenty of room? He talking about over there in that living room, he gonna put his bad tail kids. Let me tell you, he barely staying there. How he gonna have his kids come stay there? Go home, Roger. Y'all remember that on Sister. That's every time I look at Tony, that's how I feel. Tony needs to go home and stay with his kids there. And if he not renting his house out, do like Danny said and get a hotel because them being there, that ain't it. Your kids don't even like Danny. And you think they're gonna lay up in her apartment and rogue through her stuff and steal something else? But no worries. Danny already done told him absolutely not. They're going to have to be at the hotel. Now, on top of that, she finds lubrication on the kitchen table while she cleaning up. Y'all, Tony don't think Danny getting wet enough anymore naturally. Now, Danny knows she got that WAP. If y'all don't know what WAP is at this point, y'all got to know because Cardi B done taught us what WAP is, okay? It's obvious that Tony is the problem. Him being dirty, not having no job, laying up at the house, don't be turning Danny on. Y'all, please tell me why Danny just gonna throw some cash on the end table and leave out of the house. Oh, tell me that she not that stupid to leave her money, to leave all that amount of cash just laid out. She could have at least tried to hide it in some way, shape, or form. Now I feel like either Tony gonna use it for betting or claim some kind of investment. Rock gonna come by and take it, or either Tony gonna bring them kids over there and they gonna take it. Some kind of way, we already know Danny gonna end up moneyless. Is that a word? It's a word now. Moneyless. She gonna end up back broke with low hours and everything. Hayden stomping around, mad Fatima dropped Chaz as a client without discussing it with him first. I do feel like she needed to tell Hayden what Chaz was doing since he is the lawyer she is working under. I mean, he had a right to know, even though Hayden is not one of the closest people she to date. Now that she working under him, I mean, you're going to have to say something. This thing with Chaz is not over, in my personal opinion, because he didn't get what he wanted. So he's going to throw a temper tantrum. He's going to do something legal toward them, slander them, or do something. But Hayden figured out as much that Chaz must have wanted Fatima. He was wrong about some of the other stuff he thought, but that part he was right about. Now, Fatima has a good game plan, but we'll have to see if it works out with her wanting to bring on female athletes. I have a feeling Chaz is going to try to block them in some kind of way. This whole Chaz situation is not sitting well with me. I just don't feel like it's over just that easily. But I am glad Hayden was open-minded to her idea, and he did sit there and finally for once have like a mature conversation with her. Now, Fatima went home for lunch, honey. Zach showed Fatima the $100K deposit into his account. Now, honestly, I think Gary did that because Gary said before he leaves to go to Ghana with his kids that he is trying to mend fences and he wants to make things up to Andy's friends. And I think that's his way of trying to make some things up. I think him trying to give Zach, he can't give Zach back all his money. It's probably been spent, but he's trying to make amends with Zach. And I feel like that's who put that money into Zach's account. Now, Zach also told Fatima about Keys knowing his dad. And I hope Keys not about to try to be some kind of shyster and hurt Zach in no kind of way, because Zach been through enough. Like, it would be just entirely too much. He lost his mom. He lost forever. He lost all his money. He got shot at, almost got unalived. Like, enough has been enough, okay? But he finally got Fatima to agree to have dinner with he and Keys so she can kind of get a feel for him and give her opinion on what she thinks about him. Now, Fatima returns to work and is greeted by Miss Valarie, who tells Fatima she's Andy's mama. Okay, she recognized Fatima from, pictures that she has seen of she and Andy. And she stepped all up in Fatima's face and threatened her. Talking about Andy used to say good things about her. Used to? What you mean she used to? Too bad she has her hands full with other things, because Miss Valarie claimed Andy said she didn't have any help and she all stressed out. Fatima was thrown way back and wants to know, like, if Andy really is saying this, or is this Miss Valarie opinion. And Miss Valarie told Fatima she getting fired if she don't get it together. She didn't tell Fatima if those was Andy's words though, because them wasn't Andy's words, them was Miss Valarie's words, while she over there trying to be all up in Fatima's face like she the boss and she running things, okay? Then she had the nerve to want to know some tea about Dr. Vaughn. Fatima didn't even know Andy was seeing Dr. Vaughn that I know of. Then again, maybe she did. But after threatening Fatima, why would she expect Fatima to tell her anything if she did know? Because I wouldn't have told her nothing. You're not going to threaten me, be all up in my face, jumping bad, and how she approached Fatima, and then think I'm about to give you some tea or not. So after that little incident, Fatima immediately goes to call Zach and tell him, what happened. And Fatima tells him about Miss Valarie threatening her. She's trying to understand, like, why Andy is so comfortable talking about her to other people like that, and telling them stuff that she don't know. Like, wouldn't she be the first to know if she need to be looking for another job or something like that? But Zach don't even think that sound like Andy in his personal opinion. Despite Fatima not being, happy with the place she and Andy in, she still had Andy's back when Miss Valarie asked her about Dr. Vaughn and didn't tell Miss Valarie anything. And then when Fatima thinks back on it, Fatima and Zach have been there for Andy, including almost getting unalived. Fatima was there for Andy, even got pushed down by Gary's security trying to defend and protect Andy. They've been rocking with Andy for the longest time. So Fatima is really not in the mood for none of these games that's going on now. But come to think of it, things didn't get weird into the night of the incident with Gary, Hudson, and Jasmine. So Zach thinks back on it And he think it's because he seen Andy naked that night when he took her home. Now, I don't think that's why things are odd between Fatima and Andy. I personally don't think things got odd between Fatima and Andy until Fatima took on these athletes and stopped doing her job with Andy. And she did. Let's be honest about it. Like, y'all know I'm team Fatima. Fatima is my girl. But I'm one of them type of people. If a duck is a duck, I'm going to call it a duck. And she has not been handling her work with Andy. She dropping the ball. But he explained how it all went down, and he went in her room to get his phone and saw Andy naked. So with forever passing, then getting shot at that night, he forgot to tell her about it because they done had so much going on. And she claimed she wasn't mad. Okay, she forgive him for not telling her, but why didn't Andy tell her is what she really want to know. Now, I remember Andy and Zach saying they weren't going to never speak about it again. And I thought they said they weren't going to mention it to anybody, not even Fatima. But now Zach telling a whole different story. Zach saying that they both agreed that they was going to tell her, but he was just really busy. And like basically he assuming pretty much Andy been really busy and they just didn't get around to telling her. But that ain't what I remember. So they changed it from the episode we seen. Now Fatima mad. They didn't tell her. She more mad about Andy not telling her because Andy's supposed to be her girl. And she running out to confront Andy. Now, y'all leave it in the comments how y'all feel about this. Should she be more mad at Andy or more mad at Zach? Zach is the person she lay down with and sleep with every night. Which one would you be more mad at? Your girl, your best friend, your ace boon coon, or your man not telling you? Because I'm feeling like she should have been more mad at Zach than Andy. I don't know. It's equal at this point because you my best friend too, but you the man I sleep with every night. I'm gonna have to be equally mad. I'm not gonna let one off the hook and then go after the other one. Y'all both gonna have to take accountability. I'm gonna be mad at both of y'all. That leads us to these previews. So now let's preview what's happening next on Sistas. Andy wants to know why Fatima needs to see her so bad. Fatima wants to know if she needs to be looking for another job. Andy looking a little surprised in my personal opinion. Gary showed up at Hayden's to try and make amends with him, honey. Hayden didn't even want to let him in, period. Like, you think you coming in here and not? Danny keeps taking cheap shots at Andy and she's tired of it. She starts giving the cheap shots right back. Karen is confused about what's going on between them. Danny thinks Andy is a revolving door for men, and Andy checks Danny about almost going to prison because of a man. Honey, Karen gets to her announcement about leaving Atlanta and we gotta see the girls' reaction. Gary is creeping around the parking garage and sneaks up behind Fatima, who pulls a gun out on him. That is it for today's Kiki at Easy Convos. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay cozy and keep the tea hot till our next convo. Love you guys. Bye.